listening to the Devil Dog Talk Show.
This show contains explicit material and is recommended for ages 18 and older for mature audiences only. But hey, it's the internet.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Devil Dog Talk Show. Today we have Mike Cruz of the Members Only Car Club. That's right, you heard it, members only. But you're allowed to ask a lot of questions about it, right, Mike?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up. All right, so Mike and I kind of were put together by Juan, another soccer dad. You know, I'm just doing my thing, you know, being a dad, going out there, trying to do what I can. And anyways, I was walking back to the truck after the game. My kid lost, no big deal. And I noticed this really nice a Ram 2500 with the sticker on it. And what I look up and I see is it says members only. And I was like, hey, I like exclusivity and stickers. How do I get to know more about this, right? So I asked Juan, and Juan just lit up. It was so great to see his eyes just go from like, you know, we just played soccer. They won though. Hey, and then boom, cars. So he came by, I got his number. He gave me a sticker, one love. I'm so excited to talk to him about that. But he dropped some knowledge on me about members only and then shared your contact after a few texts. And I was like, hey, I got to get a hold of Mike. I got to get Mike on the show. I don't know if people know this yet because I've talked so much already. Mike is a Marine. And today is the Marine Corps birthday. And I am fucking stoked because not only is it Veterans Day, my son's birthday, but Veterans Day is the day where I get to be, you know, the center of focus. But the day before belongs exclusively to the Marine Corps. 250 years of yet or kill and just absolutely nailing the absolute ethos of what represents service in our nation. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike for a quick breakdown of himself, and we're going to get a bit history of Mike and his service and then get to know more about Members Only Car Club. Hey Mike, so I do got to ask you, how did you start your career in the Marine Corps?
On the yellow footprints, just like everybody else. Nah, for real though. Man, I'm from a small country town in Texas. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't want to stick around because people that had graduated like years before were still there. Like they just weren't doing nothing. There's no industry in my town. I mean, like I said, we're a small country town. And a friend of mine joined the Marines a year before. I saw his recruiter at the campus one day. We sat, we talked. My parents signed. I enlisted, and then I graduated. And then that July, man, I was in San Diego, you know, running some miles.
Getting your ass handed to you.
Oh, for sure. Every day, you know. Sometimes it's kind of like a toss up in between my drill instructors and my mom, because my mom was strict, you know, when I was growing up. But I mean, joining the Marines, that kind of helped out. Plus I was athletic and stuff like that. I played football, baseball, I ran track and stuff like that. So all of it just kind of, you know, control chaos all together, man, and make things work. So yeah.
That's beautiful. And what year did you join?
95.
1995.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to say it like that, but yeah, well, 1995, bro.
I do.
Yeah,
do you know what year we're in, dog? Like shit. 1900s were last millennium. No, I'm just kidding. It's giving me shit about it all the time. 1995, my brother in Christ. That is some years in service. How did you stay dedicated to the Corps through, of course, you know, these huge transitioning years, and be able to get to where you were as a leader before you got out?
Well, I think so. I retired in 2019 before COVID and this next generation of what's going on right now, you know. And to be honest with you, like I'm not even connected, bro. Like I got my homies that were, you know, that are retired Marines and things like that, but that's pretty much it. Like that's the only connection I have to the Marine Corps. But being a young Marine back in that day, promotions were kind of slow, but for some reason, man, I guess I just came in at the right time and I got promoted pretty fast. And then I met that guy, that career counselor that's like, bro, you can't stay in your field. You need to go do something different. So I went on recruiting duty, and that was like in 99. And I had stayed on recruiting duty from 99 to 2019 when I retired. And
awesome.
Working with kids, man, working with high school students. That's kind of been like the new passion for me. And even now, like right now I'm at work and I work at a charter school doing the same thing I did as a recruiter. Like I work with them talking about careers and things of that nature. So those kids found me and helped me develop my passion for working with kids, you know.
That's
So
beautiful, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I'm a
love
lucky one. I'm a lucky one, man.
Hey, hey, some of us gotta be. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I am the opposite of luck. Okay. I'm that guy. Hey, there's cracks. We know they exist. And I'm like, yeah, I've fucking been in every single one of them. Yeah. I'm the unlucky guy. Hey, Mike's taking all the luck from me.
I mean, I'm not going to no crap tables, or I'm not going to the casino or nothing with you. I mean, because I'll lose out. But I'm just saying, as far as my career, I'm a lucky guy. I've been blessed. So
That's
yeah.
beautiful, man. That is beautiful. So coming from Dallas, you came over to California. How is it that, when you come to this state, all right, what made it different and what is it that kind of helped you want to stay here?
I would have to say that was my wife. My
Nice.
wife made me want to stay here. Like there was no choice. I mean, she's from California. She's from Fallbrook, you know, and there was just, she went out to Texas with me. We were there for a couple years, and then she's like, "Hey, it's time for us to go back to Cali." So I got that transfer back, and then I've been here since 2008. And then when I made the decision to retire, we talked about it, and I was like hoping that we would go back to Texas, but she's like, "Well, we're staying," and I'm like, "All right, cool." And then that was it, man. I mean, I didn't really want to leave anyway. I mean, like, how could you give up this California lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the beach is right there, the desert's just right there, the mountains are right up there. I mean, everything is so close in Texas, man. I mean, like, we're driving hours or something, you know. So the only thing that's better in Texas right now is that, it's cheaper gas, my favorite food, Whataburger,
Nice.
and that's pretty much about it, man. So I didn't want to leave this behind. And, now, and, right before I retired, I joined Members Only Car Club. I couldn't leave my brothers behind, it was just like from one transition from one group to another group, I couldn't leave them behind.
Absolutely. So bringing up the members only car club, right? You went through a lot and there's a lot of years to unpack. So we'll have you back on. We'll be talking a lot, sharing you with our audience and everything you got going on. But when you got out and you were transitioning from 2019 as a master sergeant, that's not an easy rank to get. Okay, one. And two, it's a huge shift between then and now. In I want to say the esprit de corps, the vibe, right? How the kids say it. When you got out, how did you find the members only club and how did that help you transcend the typical bumpy road that a lot of us kind of go down?
Oh man, I think it's just going back to being lucky, man. Like I know I'm repeating it and I'm
Yeah.
blessed and everything because I really feel that way. Like, but so my wife's uncle, who I love very much, he introduced me to a couple guys in the club. Then I went and bought another car, because this is like the third car I think I've had with my wife. So we bought the '63 Impala, and then we took it straight to this guy's shop who was part of the club, and we just got to work on it. And going over there, after when I got out of work and hanging out with those guys, I'm like, man, this might be the spot, man. This might be the spot. And that brotherhood just started because I was, banging on my own car. They were showing me how to do certain things, and that was it, man. The brotherhood just connected us all together. And next thing I know, man, when I retired, it was just an easy transition for me because I already had my support group, my brothers, and in the club.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I only do two things, man. I go to work, I go and I do club things. That's it, bro. Like, those are the only two things I got going on in my life outside of my wife and my kids. Yeah, I don't have any other hobbies. I mean, this hobby already is expensive as it is. Like this paint jobs and all this stuff. But I mean, for me, like, these are the only two things. So I go to work, I chill with my family, and then I got my club.
That's beautiful. And focusing on the cars, because you brought it up, cars are expensive, especially lowriders. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, oof, my guy. All right. I grew up around cars. Okay. My grandfather and one of his best buds, they were doing conversions for Corvette engines into Chevy trucks back in the day. He had a few features, I believe, in lowrider, and it was something that really kind of just stuck with me. And I love cars, right? I love motivation, motors, all the different things, movement, of course, audio. That's my thing. I really love the beats, right? But anything to do with the work, it just seems like there's so much reward in physically doing work. So how did you go about not only getting the cars and then actually integrating them to show and getting working with the club and building them up? Is that something that the club does, or is that something that you do on your own, or how does building the car actually work out?
I hate to say this, man, but when you're part of a club, you don't do anything by yourself. Like those guys will come and they will spend their time with you building your car. Like our mutual friend Juan, like he came over and he helped me build my frame and work on my frame. I have another guy, Junior. This guy, man, is crazy phenomenal working with hydraulics, welding, like he's almost a manufacturer, to speak,
Yeah.
there's, it's just like, you're never going to be by yourself when you're building these cars, man. Those guys are coming in because that's what they love to do too. So they're going to come in and, even if they're going to turn a wrench only 2 times, but drink like a 6-pack of beer, like they're there for the camaraderie. They're there to help you with whatever you need help with, So building my 63, it was at our guy shop. His name is Pelon, out of Escondido. And he kind of like walked me through the process. He's like, hey, this is what we're going to do first. And then after we get that done, then we'll move on to this, we'll move on to that. And then, and I'm like, and I'm trying to throw all these ideas. And he's like, oh, hold up, rookie. Like, no, it's not time for that yet, So he really kind of like walked me through everything. And then he started introducing me. Like I met Junior through him. I met another guy named Danny through him. And Danny is kind of like that silent genius. Like you don't even know that he's thinking until he starts talking about, well, you can't do this because of this. And I mean, he's just a mastermind, but these guys are a really good group of guys. And I'm lucky that I met these guys, you know what I'm saying? And, but the car came out very beautiful. It wins, plaques and trophies and awards, at shows and things of that nature. And now we're working on another car together, my second car, right now. And that's the problem. You just never have one, some people you can't even do it too. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I do.
So, yeah.
I know that so much because talking about cars, right? There's a difference between classic cars in general and lowriders, right? Then you have your muscle cars, and then you have your trucks, and then you have your Broncos and sports cars and all these different things. Classic cars with lowriders for me is just a specialized like niche within it, right? And what I learned is I am addicted just as much. I'm addicted to the way they make me feel, right? I don't know. But the real thing is that I can't not look at classic cars, okay? Whether they're lowriders, whether they're trucks, lifted, lowered, you name it, right? And I found 2 trucks. And let me just tell you what, I had a whole pitch deck presented this morning to my wife about how I can get 2, okay, not just 1, but 2 at a time now. And I'm so stoked because I'm really like, hey, maybe this will work. The finance is there. And if we work it out this way, because what you're saying, I'm like, hey, I like clubs. I don't know. I like working things and drinking beers, and,
Yeah.
And if we have 2 trucks and they're haulers, I'm like, dude, there's so many opportunities there with everybody. And it makes my gears go, and it makes me happy because when you look at physical stuff, right? How do you weld a frame, right? How do you make it secure enough? That's the difference. How do you make it secure enough to hop, right? How do you make it secure enough to bounce or through 3-wheel? One of my childhood friends, Andrew Areola, okay, his father worked on a 64 Impala. It was gorgeous, okay? Midnight blue with flake. It had the 3 wheels and all the cool pumps and all that stuff. He worked on it constantly. I remember one ride, just one, okay? We went down the road and he hit the switch and every part of me was just like, this is what's up. Like, I don't know the words and I still don't know the words, but there was this thing that made me have so much fun. every time I would go visit him, I would just tell his dad, oh my God, that's so cool. I'd stare at the car, all that stuff. And of course, my grandparents, my dad, we'd always work on things. And finally, I got my 1974 74 F100 Ford F100. There you go. I'm repeating stuff. Custom. Okay. I'm so excited. And it had a 351 Cleveland board 40 over and, glass packs, all the good stuff. Right. But it was a project truck. It was a family truck that has been in our family since 75. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to work on it so bad, but I didn't know how to. I didn't understand the cost. Okay. Like, geez, my dad, we put a little bit of money into it. We got it primered, we got it sanded down, and it sat in a field when I left, for military service. When I came back, my cousin swooped it up and he's still working on it and he's, getting it up and running. But ever since, I always wanted to come back to that truck and finish that project. It didn't happen yet. I say yet because, hey, when I want something, I work towards it, right? So me and my wife, we got super excited. It was around the same time frame I was looking at trucks. I found a couple of trucks really good priced. And then I fell in love with this purple Mustang, 1965, with the 347 board, strokered kit, all the good stuff, fatties in the back, skinnies in the front, right? All the pretty things that make it look good, right? Kind of raked out, just gorgeous. And I showed my wife the car and I'm like, hey, it's not that expensive and it's an investment, right? Of course, that's the best way to start the conversation. It's an investment, right? And we ended up getting it. And immediately when we started working on it, we ended up putting in another 10,000. So I'm not even going to go into the long full in story about it, but it took about 10,000 to get it roadworthy, to cruise and do everything. Take it to Cruising Grand, hanging out, meeting people, trying our best to get, into the community. And what I realized is these people, everybody is so kind. There's so many people, then so many different demographics and so many groups, but everybody's coming together around cars. We talk about cars, we hang out, we go brum brum, right? We welding and everybody's hanging out. We're talking about family, food's going. And ever since then, I've been telling my wife, like, I just want more and more of what this is. Because it's not just it's not just a car club. It's not just a thing. It reminded me so much more of when I was in the military, that community, that sense of belonging, that thing that I've missed and have been missing for about 15 years, man. And trying to get back into it. That's what really made me so excited to bring you and this conversation about the members only car club to our audience, because for years, people will be like, oh, you're into a lot of different shit. I'm like, yeah, I gotta be, because hey, our suicide numbers are crazy. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
we need to work on that. Like, I don't have this. I got solutions. I'm not going to lie. Okay. I got lots of solutions. The problem is nobody wants to listen to a guy that looks like this. Okay. And talks the way that I do. It's like, oh, you don't have the suit and tie? Well, I do. I just don't wear it. Like, come on, guy. Right. And I'm like, dude, here's a perfect answer. Car clubs, right? Get the community involved, because when I was reading the history on members only, actually, you know what? Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the history of members only? I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna say this, like the club started in the early 1980s, and it started with a few Marines, which was kind of funny. And to be honest with you, I didn't know that when I first joined. I think that might have came up like maybe a year or two ago, and I've been in the club since 2017. Yeah. So anyhow, these guys started it up. It was their hobbies. And what's really funny is they were stationed right out here in Pendleton. And some of these original members are still hanging out, still cruising, still doing the things. They're just not doing it with the club anymore. But in 89, the club became like super official, registered with Lowrider Magazine. One of the founding members, Renato Mendoza, and then his brother that also joined from back then, like they're still active members in the club. But our club, man, we have like everything that you can think of. Like we're just not, a retiree that works at a school or a guy that works concrete or construction. I mean, we have firefighters, we have business owners. Renato himself is a business owner, like we just have people from all kinds of different walks of life, man, that have came into this club. And to be honest with you, I think me and Juan are the only two Marines. Yeah, the only two Marines in it now. So it's kind of funny how it's kind of evolved and everything. And like I said, I didn't even know until like 2 years ago that this whole thing started with Marine. So at that point, like I really knew, like, yeah, this is it, man. This is it, you know. So I mean, I don't have no members only tattoo on me, you know.
Not yet.
'Cause that's a huge commitment. That's a huge commitment. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have.
So.
I do. I do. In fact, I have 0 tattoos. That's how much I know it's a commitment.
See, and wow, that's crazy right there. Because every guy that I've ever met, you know, that's you know, retiree, at least they got a little something somewhere, you know, and for you not to have anything, that kind of
Not a
blows my
single.
mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the fun. I'll share it with you. The funnier part of that story. My dad, I love him. All right. I was raised to never get tattoos. Good Catholic boy. Okay. My dad, you know, we grew up, I don't look it either, but I'm a Mexican. Okay. One. And I grew up in a Mexican family, right? All the traditions
Right.
and everything to boot, the strictness to go. And my dad told my grandfather, my grandmother, everybody raised us, you'll never get a tattoo. You'll never do drugs. You will never do this. You will never do that. And it's just like, yes, yes. It's like God said it himself, right?
Oh yeah.
So the thing he taught me was, why would you ever put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari? And that it just seared into my soul for the rest of my life, man. And everybody, man, we used to go out drinking with the guys, you know, they were like, all right, they would get tattoos. And I'm just like, no, immediately sober. Like if Jesus Christ walked through right now and said, Mijo, no. And I'm like, no, like grandma said, no. Okay. So ever since then, right, I just never get a tattoo. I get out of the military, go through a lot, right? My dad, you know, he was in corrections and then private investigator. Now he's an educator here in San Jacinto. Okay. He has all the tattoos. He has so many tattoos that I'm like, hey, did something happen? Because like, used to tell me never to get tattoos, and now he's full sleeves, bro. He's got sleeves. He's got like our dogs and the paw prints and like dates, and it's really cool. Actually, he's got like a bird, an eagle. I was gonna say a bird, right? A flag, and he's got a little sparrow on his arm. That actually is a tattoo. He's got that's actually a cool tattoo too. A Tweety bird. Shit. Do you notice how all these are cool tattoos now? Anyways, so he's got all this stuff, right? And I'm just like, Dad, you know what happened there? My mom, tattoos. My sisters, all of them, tattoos. The only person I think that doesn't have a tattoo in my entire family anymore is maybe my uncle and me. And I think it has a lot to do with the same thing. He was in the army. And so clearly there's like this thing in us that we want to follow the rules, and it like cakes into our whole characteristics of what we carry over as men. And like, I'm just like so afraid. Everybody's like, dude, you're a doc. You're afraid of needles. I'm like, no, I'm afraid of the commitment. And you said it perfectly. It was like, you just like, hey, you've been listening on my therapy sessions, my guy? Like, hey, commitment terrifies me. But tattoos, it's beautiful. So members only, no tattoos yet, right? Where do you see yourself in the club, and how can we help support the club, get to know each other better? You know, our listeners, our audience, and how do we participate in members only and support the movement? Because it's not just a community; there's a lot going on with it.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle, bro. It's just like, you know, being in the military. Like it's not a career, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. And I think the biggest way that, you know, people in the community can get involved is, let's start with the show this weekend, man. We got our show coming up at Paula Casino. And if I could throw like a real quick shout out to
Absolutely.
Paula Tribe, like the chairman and his staff, man, those guys are great. Like they're like, yeah, you want this? You got it, you know. And I'm like, nothing makes my ears, I'm just like very big and small. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it, man. I'm writing it down. And but yeah, come out to the show. Starts at 10. It's 10 to 4. We're expecting between 350 entries or so, or somewhere around that general area. We got live entertainment. We got a DJ. Desi Hollow's coming out.
Desi's coming out.
Yeah, Desi's coming out, man. Like, it's like we don't do anything without Desi. Desi supports us. We support him. You know, we've been in some of his videos, and he's helped us out with our shows. You know, so but no, Desi, without even being a member, is a real big part of our club. You know, so that guy does a lot for us, and we do a lot for him. You know, so It's just not like I scratch your back, he'll scratch ours. Like it's a legit friendship and bond that we have with that dude. Like that dude is mad cool. So if anybody that knows him, they know what I'm talking about. And anybody that doesn't know him, they will soon after a conversation understand what I'm saying, you know?
Oh, dude. Yes. Because
Yeah.
yes. That is so
Yeah,
dope. It's culture. It's culture, right? Like to me, as soon as you said Desi fucks with it, I'm like, hey, excuse me, friends. Like I be bumping that shit. All right, driving around all the time. Okay, between Bay Area shit and that, it's like, hey, Oceanside represent. Can we get something else besides like Taylor Swift and Hillary Duff? Like, I mean, a little bit of flavor, right? Let's like get picante. Our salsa is mild. We need that picante. To me, dude, knowing that is so much fun. So the event has live music, has food,
Yeah.
has 300 plus entries. That's entries, folks, not people attending. Okay, just so we're clear, that's cars that you get to look at. Don't touch. I mean, unless you get permission. But it's kind of like the strip club. You know, you can look, but don't touch unless you go to the champagne room. Okay, like shit. Extra. Everything costs extra. You want a longer song? It's extra. Each song is extra. Anyway. This weekend, Paula Casino, Desi Hollow, members only car club. What's the fees? Do we got to pay to get in?
No, it's free to the public. Free to the public. Come on out. I mean, there'll be cars, obviously, but there's going to be bicycles. There's going to be everything. If it has wheels, it's going to be at the show.
Nice.
You know, and I keep telling my wife, like, you know what, I'm gonna do the next best thing, man. You know what my Mexican background is, I'm a pinstripe up a lawnmower and bring it out and put it up for show, you know, like that's the only thing that's really missing, but we got everything else, you know. So bring the family, bring the kids, you know, bring the in-laws, you know, everybody's going to have a great time, you know, and there'll be plenty of vendors out there, you know, everything from American food to Mexican food, treats, desserts, you know, so yeah, it's going to be a great time. And then, you know, if you get a little tired, you know, go in the casino, rest a little bit, and then come back out to the show and finish the show up.
That's perfect pitch, bro. I didn't even have this conversation with you before, but that's like a perfect pitch. You can go right there to Paula, take yourself a nap. I'm an old ass. Okay. So like you can get comfortable, get yourself a room night before, you know, show up. I mean, like shit, my brain's rolling and rolling because all the people I know is older. So you young kids, you could be driving, you know, 45, 50 minutes, an hour away. I live 30 minutes from Paula and I'm like, shit, I might get a room, Mike. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna, you know, hey, because what I was interested in is the rolling at 4 a.m.
Right.
Yeah, it's 4 or 6. I think it's 6.
No, 6. Okay. 6 a.m. Yeah.
Okay, so the rolling is at 6. And I was like, all right, that's what it is. I had to wake up at 4. That's what I wrote down. I was like, hey, I'm so excited about this thing. And I was telling my wife, I was like, well, she goes, why do you want to get there during the rolling? And I was like, imagine. Okay, everybody's coming together at 0600. It's like that feeling when we're PTing together, right? Everybody's exhausted. Everybody probably drank the night before, okay? And we want to just kind of have a good time. But everybody's there, and it takes a lot of work and effort. And now you're actually moving mechanized logistics. That's the way I see it, right? You're mechanized. You're just moving like metal. And I want to see it. I want to capture it. These like just the morning glory of all these cars getting into position, like the whole feeling of the day where it's completely developing, and then bam, the crowd shows up. That's the biggest, best feeling is when in a show, like I'm a showman, right? If in the show you get to see the faces of those creating the show, right? And then you get to see the faces of those enjoying the show. And then at the end of it, you get to see the hard work that everybody puts into it to have just showed up. I said show probably like 100 times now, but what I'm saying is it's impossible to know the hard work and the energy that goes into these vehicles, whether they're off-road. You know, Warrior Built has a great thing going on for them. Members only car club right here, right now, right? You guys have an amazing thing going for you. If you're a veteran, if you're not, getting involved in something that builds and develops that rapport with the community, that's how we do it. You said it best. When you got out, you already had that support ready for you. That's something that me and my unlucky ass did not situate beforehand. I did not know I didn't know, right? I was transferred, medical hardship, everything. I didn't know what the happenings were at that time. I was dedicated. I wanted to stay in. Didn't happen that way. You got to serve. How many years in total did you get to serve? Because that's something I have not asked yet.
Just over 24.
Just 24. No big deal.
Yeah, just over 24. Yeah.
Just a whole ass adult, like graduated college and, from birth to college years, just 24 years. Jesus. Just Master Sergeant, no big deal. I love it, dude.
Yeah, no big deal, man.
Oh, man. All right.
It's more about them.
Exactly. It's about
them.
getting to serve, and I love that energy. I love that vibe. There's a couple things I do want to ask. Last thing, how do we get in contact with Members Only Car Club, and how do we show up to support the car club?
So I think the best way is probably look us up on Instagram at Members Only CC. I think that's probably the best way. Anything that goes on with the club, photos, cruises, any and everything goes right onto Instagram, onto that website. So the flyers are the people that have helped us out along the way. Are people who have truly have dedicated time out of their personal schedules. Everybody is connected to that site, so Members Only CC Instagram, bro.
That's what's up. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap it up now because I know Mike's got to get going, probably welding or polishing or painting or something, because it's car show week, folks. And it's the Marine Corps birthday. So let's not forget that 250 plus years, probably honestly, of service to our great nation. Happy birthday, Marine Corps, and happy Veterans Day. Thank you, Mike, for hopping on. We're really excited about the Members Only Car Club car show at Paula Casino this weekend, November 15th at 10 a.m. I did it. Yeah. All right, man. You have any last second shout outs? Anything we forgot?
I just want to say thank you to the entire North County community for supporting us. And I don't mean that lightly. I do mean that from the bottom of our hearts, man. We get so much positive support. But come to the show. It's going to be a great thing, man. We got people from Vegas coming out, Nevada, Northern California, LA, even deep down in San Diego, and even across the border from TJ coming up from Baja. So it's going to be a great show. You will not be disappointed. You will have a 100% time of your life.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. Our flags unfurled to every breeze, from dawn to setting sun. We have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. Always on the job, the United States Marine. which we are proud to serve. In many a strife we fought for life and never lost our nerve. If the Army and the Navy ever look on heaven's scene, they will find the streets are guarded by United States Marines.